My God. You, please.
Please, don't make it that I'm actually quite.
Children. I think one of the things that I knew from time was that I was also going to work in the creative field.
Okay.
So in primary school, I was the best in art from primary 1 to primary 6. In secondary school, I was the best in art from JSS 1 to JSS 3. And the reason why I stopped being the best in art is because I dropped art. Because I felt I was almost better than my fine art teacher. So yeah. So I was like, I'm not learning anything here. I want to study music instead.
Okay.
So I could move on. Just to diversify. Then I went to science class. I just wanted to know stuff. And I went to know stuff I didn't know. Art, I could always learn. I thought I was going to be a comic book artist all my life. But the thing about comic books generally, not just the art, is that it causes your knowledge or desire for knowledge to expand. Because it's in comic books we first saw tablets that you could slide screens on. It's in comic books you see everything that are literally our reality today in terms of technology. So I was intrigued by that and I wanted to be part of it. Then I went into university, did sociology, because I wanted to also have study of society.
Okay.
That's what it is. My first job was comic book art. So the Indomitables, when it first came out, Indomie, I was one of the first guys there. So the first billboard you saw of Indomitables was drawn by me.
How did you apply?
So I did it. It's not like now where everybody has a profile and you just go and check out and so kids. Then I had the streets knew you, the streets didn't know you. In fact, how I said I abandoned the team that got the contract was being the best in art in my school. Everybody would be like competing. So someone would always try to challenge you. So one of my friends asked me and said, I finally found guys who are better at art than you. I was like, where are they? We're there, trying to protect my rep. And then he says, I'll take you to them on Sunday. That Sunday, already after church, just wait till they came to the house. We walked to the place, got there and I saw these guys. They were all older than me and they were all better than me, in truth. So if you can't beat them, so I joined them. And that's how my skills kept getting better. And it was us that they reached out to because we had made kind of a name for ourselves. And we had amazing ideas for brands from the jump, but no brand bought, no brand bid. This was like in the late 90s.
It wasn't a thing then.
It wasn't a thing. They just didn't send us. And all brands had agencies that managed them. And agencies were always trying to, protect their territory. So in 2004, 2005 was when Indomitable started. A guy, it was Aimo's idea. And then the drawing of it came to us. Because we were the best at art. And so we drew the characters out properly, put them on billboards. That was the first decision. And then we started drawing a lot of storyboards for. So what I was doing was we were providing support for agencies. So we're not in competition as a team per se. We were like an agency support. So we're like an agency to agencies. They want to do a storyboard. They want to tell a story. Come to us. Yeah. So that's how we started off. In 2005, I took my first. It wasn't a full-time job. What it was there's a company, Litramed. Litramed Publications is one of the biggest publishing houses in Africa.
Okay.
And it's a company that most kids, almost every child that went to school in Nigeria, at one point or the other, one of the books you used in school was published by Lantern Books.
Yes.
Lantern Books.
Sure.
Lantern Books is owned by Litramed. So Litramed is called Litramed because it's literature and medicine. And it was owned by a man who was literature a lot, and his wife who was into medicine. So they provided literary and medical services. So I worked there for 2 years. I'm a Christian, so for me it was ministry. What happened was they were turning folk stories and Bible stories into comic books because kids were more, you're more drawn to pictures than to words. So literally, when say a picture does 1,000 words, so this is what we're trying to do. So I spent 2 years drawing comic books, 2 different stories. I drew the Adam and Eve story, Jesus stories. So I drew a lot of David stories. And I was like, yeah, this guy, I like it. So there was a book. I was drawing the story of David and Absalom, and it was a 4-part series. And as I was drawing the fourth one, the Holy Spirit told me the same way I hear your voice and I can hear you. He said, "This is the last book you will do here." There was no other instruction. There was no
pack up your stuff and go to Chopper, where I will show you a man.
none of that. It was just, "This is the last book you will do here." And I repeated it, and I knew it was him. I had no clue what was going on, but the certainty of it was all I had, and I held on to. In about 2 or 3 weeks, he orchestrated some of the most, it would have been impossible events to get me the next job. And that was now the first full-time job. Literally, every book that you were commissioned to do had a 3-week deadline for you to finish. I used to finish my books in 1 week. So I got a nickname there, the assassin. Instead of doing a book in 3 weeks, I'll take 2 books. They'll give me 2 books, and I'll do 2 books in 2 weeks. And I'll the rest on the 3rd week. And I'll take another 2 books. And that's how I said to amass a little bit of, it wasn't wealth, but comfort. You know, I came from a pretty humble background. So yes, I could do things in the house, you know. You could literally see your life getting better in front of you. So now I'm finished with that. God, this year is God telling me, you know, I have no other means of income, nothing that I plan, thing that I'm doing here. We're done here. He's the one that said it. I can't go against him. I got a call by a guy called Antonio, who is the creative director, who is still the creative director of S2U. Calls me and says, "Hi, my name is Tony. I heard you want to write." I said, "Yes, I do." I said, "Okay." And like I said, God orchestrated that thing because the person that gave him my number gave him my first ever number, which I got in 2005. The number was expunged in 2005 because I gave my phone in church as an opposite because I didn't have money. And when I gave my phone in church, I didn't have, like I said, I was that broke generally anyway. So I gave it in. I got the phone, it was my first phone, I got the phone, such as my X7, I cannot forget. I got the phone in April, gave the phone in May or June. So it didn't last up to 2 months. I back everything. And I didn't have a phone or money to even, because you have to load, at that time back then, you don't use your number, your line for a short period, like 90 days or so, they expunge the line. So on my birthday, October 19, 2005, I didn't even have 500 naira to buy airtime to put in, you know, in just for the writing, at least to retain. Yeah. So by the time I got the job, that changed everything. It was in November, and then I got my first paycheck was, I think, December beginning, and I tried to get the line back to the response. That was the number that they gave. Like I said, God orchestrated things in a crazy manner so that I saw the person. I had no business in the person who gave me my number. I went to somebody else, and the gate man, who I never saw again after that day. I mean, I used to go there regularly, and I'd never seen that gate man before, and I never saw him again. The gate man kept saying, "Oh, you came to see my," no, he came to see my brother-in-law today. Yeah, okay, no, it's not. Go and see Mike. And what is my business with Mike? I went to see Mike. I told somebody that he wants to write. I said, "Okay." I gave me a number. He hasn't called. They said, "No." I said, "Oh, wait." If somebody give me that, I haven't had that number in about 2 years at that time. So I gave him my new number. Gave it to the person. He called me. The day he called me, he said I should come the next day. As I went in the next day, I had just finished Absalom Part 4. I was going to drop Absalom Part 4, which would have ended my work with Literature. And I stopped by, because on the way to Literature, I stopped by the office, they saw Absalom 4, and literally had me on the spot. So literally the last book that I worked on was what opened that door. Right from there, things just went good. So I started January 8, 2008. In 2009, ending on staff of the year. I think I was a junior. Yeah, so my first nickname was, and I think it was a bit of, I don't know if it was both positive and negative. The nickname was Awesome. So it's real awesomeness. And these are my seniors. I don't know if they're clowning me or they're being serious. Yeah, I learned a lot from them, a whole lot. That's where I learned almost everything I know in the business. So by the time I left S1U for GDP, from then it was just flying, because like the amount of work I had to do with
Then,
in the beginning had just
set you up.
literally turned me into what was a modern day monster. I remember when we were working on the MTN adult bots thing. That was 2012 because they launched in 2013. So we did a bunch of scripts and I literally finished writing 15 scripts in 4 hours, 3 hours. Every single script was approved. So it wasn't throwaway stuff. So yeah, so that was what brought me to, being able to be, as far as we were, a machine in terms of
You know your popular works.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Burner Boys, but to you now, because as a creative, I know that what is popular might not be what is my most fulfilling work. So to you, what's that?
I think back then, the most fulfilling work I've never had. Yep, it never used to come out. So that was the thing. So the ones that did come out, there was an ad we did for, and just print, it wasn't even radioing. There was an ad we did for MTN, and it was just basically trying to sell MTN sponsorship of the Premier League. So what it was I had to print.
Are you a fan of football?
Yes, my God.
Let's see.
Barcelona. So, what was it?
I was checking for your level of heartbreaks. So far.
Is it? I'm not Arsenal. Don't worry. Yeah, that's real heartbreak.
True.
My friend once said you shouldn't be a Nigerian Arsenal fan.
No. You need a point of happiness in life because you cannot now. That's too extreme.
So it was fun for me because what we're doing, we're turning the what they knew this clubs for and visualizing it. So we had guys like in army fatigues, loading up cannons and shooting at a bridge. And the people on the bridge were trying to defend the bridge because they were Stamford Bridge, So it was tonight, 8 p.m. Arsenal is just brought to you by Etsy. So we had a series of those. There was one where you saw demons, and there was a line on the floor, and the line was a sector circle of the field.
Cartoon?
Yes, I can send them to you. I think I still have them. They're mad. Like, so you see demons coming through, and then you see like the local Nigerians, with Fila and everything, you remember Dane guns shooting at them. Arsenal versus Man United because the Red Devils, tonight, just like that. So we had those series. I was mad, but it didn't really get that much talk, Then presently, I think my favorite last job I did were two. One was as a beg in 2021. A beg had an ad about it's called This Generation. I'll send it to you, where it talked about how young people were facing things like sex for grades. So that was a very strong one. I like how the president did it. And the last one it's called The Blind Bride. So it's a traditional wedding where a lady was going to give her husband wine. And so as she was talking, I was telling her where to go and went to school. So she gets the name. She's like, a good place to walk on the stage. She's black. So, but she didn't want to use it with basic to find out of the traditional wedding. Yeah, so just like this.
So we know you and Burner Boy. You guys bonded on your comics. I watched Secret Fame.
Okay.
When I was searching about you, I love the way, first of all, that you did not lose that indigenous feel for Burner Boy brand.
Yeah.
I saw some. I don't know if I should call them copy.
Yeah.
Copies. Copies for the talentless.
Yes.
You make music passionately like you're waging a war.
Yeah.
Whose idea was that? First of all, then secondly, break it down for us. I want to know what was the significance of people working at the and then the idea basically behind Secret Fame.
Okay. All right. So what happened was they had Burner as a comic book hero.
That's the information.
Are you serious?
That's the information.
It's in the, how do I put it? It's literally out there. So if you there's one of his first ever interviews is YouTube special feature. Literally, the name Burna Boy is a superhero. So he was.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that in one of your interviews.
Yeah.
Your interviews.
Oh, okay. So he loved Spider-Man. That's his favorite guy. So he wasn't a superhero himself. So he was Burna Boy. Yeah. So now that just transferred his comic life into his music life. Now he's like that is in that way. So before even I came on the scene, he already had plans to do the comic book film. So now what really helped us bond was COVID. As well as the sound. He doesn't live too far from my house, and we had a job to do for Pepsi. And because we couldn't move around, we moved to this place to record and shoot a to shoot. And we did it. So when we were talking about different things, I worked on a few things with him before then. So we were talking then. He says, "Come, let's take you to the studio and play the music with recording." I'm like, "Bro, like, yes." So from then, it was like, okay, fine. The sister I reached out to because the very first time we met was in London to shoot something for Star. And then I found out that his sister used to draw comics.
Oh.
Yes, wild. And then he was into comics. And then I showed them stuff I'd drawn from when I started my comic days. So next thing, his sister calls me, one of his sisters calls me and says, "Hey, Chuka, you drew comics now?" I said, "I used to." He said, "So we're trying to do a comic book for Twice as Tall." I was like, "Oh, brilliant." I said, "But we gave it to an American company, because it's based on the contract and everything, but they're not getting it right. Can you come in and be like a consultant so that they get it right?" I said, "Fine." So we had a Zoom meeting. When the meeting was over, she calls me back and says, "It's like you just take over this whole thing." So we gave it to me. So I assembled the team. So I didn't try to do it myself because I had been based on what I'd done in the industry and the kind of people I was just looking out for. I knew the right people for the right jobs. So I called the guy called Xavier. Xavier is a writer who has written even the Shantytown. Yes, written by him. Doing quite a lot of award-winning movies as well. So I buzzed him, like, "Oh, cool." So I buzzed him and I said, "I'm working on this project. You want to be the writer?" He said, "Yes." I called another of my friends, Mo Abadi. Mo is one of the most insane geniuses I've come across in my life. And that's saying a lot, because I've met a few geniuses. Mo taught himself to draw as a grown-up. He just woke up and said, "I want to learn to draw." And it's one of the best in the world, and I'm not exaggerating. Dumb thing, after getting to be one of the best in the world, honestly, Mo drops it and says, "I don't want to do it again, I want to go and." That's how crazy Mohammed is. He's that nuts. So I was and said, "I want you to draw this." I went, "I have time." I said, "Okay, fine. Color it." He says, "Okay, fine. Just color it." It's insane. I reached out to another friend, Stanley. Stanley is a brilliant artist. And Stanley is one of the few people I can manage to get to do things on time. That's one thing you have to work in creative.
Yeah.
Raw. So Stanley agreed to draw the comic and he killed it. Xavier wrote it. All I did was edit. So those lines were by Xavier. And of course the whole point was you understand what we're going for. You understand who Burner is.
Yes.
So just feeding your inner Burner. We all have it, let's not lie. So, and that's how
we all have it.
Yes, it's a simple truth. We all have our inner Burner. The difference is that Burner is the guy that says the things you want to say but don't say.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Burner is also our filter.
Yeah, that's it. That's literally it. Yes.
That's the walking of the. I'm really
that was me. Yeah.
That was you.
So apparently, because it was twice as tall.
Yeah.
The first album was called African Giant.
Yeah.
So what's a giant? It's twice the size of a giant. How do you visualize that? So it was the Gulliver's Travels setting, where no story of Gulliver's Travels. Really? I'm old. It is confirmed. My God.
I don't think I'm as young as you think I am.
How old are you?
No, let's not.
No, I'm interviewing you. Okay, let's give it a ring. Are you in your 20s?
20s.
Yeah, you're young. I thought you were going to say you're young. You're in your 20s. You're young.
Just kids.
You are in your 20s.
Yeah.
Sharp.
Yeah.
You are young. You can't even escape it. Do you know what? In fact, let me not flip it on you because at the best, you were born in the 90s. My God. I didn't know in the 90s, like 94, because you're 94, you'll be 30. Please.
Wait, don't make it that. Don't. I'm actually quite.
Children.
That's a drag. That's a drag.
Enjoy youth. The Bible says in
That's not what you're going to do right now.
Why? You don't like the Bible?
Hold on,
You are a Bible hater. Are you one of those that hate Paul too? I say you didn't write. Okay. And you hate it.
They're a drag.
It's you that don't need to be drag.
No. So wait. Wait, hold on. I'm not young, but I'm still young.
You're not young, you're still young.
Yeah.
So, on today's edition of Contradictions, we will be discussing. Okay, anyway.
That's oxymoron.
Yes, it is. Okay.
Moving on.
Yes. So, as we were saying about youth.
No,
okay,
not youth.
So,
about the people that are crying and burning.
Yes, the young people that are working for us.
Yes, the young ones. I feel like his mom then.
Oh, and the old people too. But anyway. So I said Gulliver, that's how we got here.
Okay.
So Gulliver's Travels is one of the biggest stories growing up. It used to be a big deal. So the story of Gulliver is he was a guy who used to basically, in the old English era and the old European era, there's a lot of travel via ships. That's how they went and colonized, that's how they went to via trade. So the story is that Gulliver, the fantasy, is that Gulliver went to a place. I remember the name of the Lilliput. That's the name, Lilliput. And when he got to Lilliput, he was shipwrecked and then landed on Lilliput. When he got there, everybody in Lilliput resisted him. So even in fact, we were afraid of him to the point that when he woke up, they had moving all that around him, basically tried to pin him to the ground. And he just got up and everything fell off. So they were all afraid of him, but then he became friends with them. And they would help them build their structures and all. So that was who Gulliver was. He now went to a place called Bluffers School, where he was now the one that was this tiny, and we were that big. So it was an interesting story. But so based on the Gulliver story, that
was the inspiration.
Yes, it was Gulliver. So as you're walking, the little people, and the thing about it, the symbolism was, there's an African proverb that says, if you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So, but that being, carrying, the African giant is carrying the map, the continent on his back and moving. So that's what people were supposed to signify. So there were 7 people on it, because it was supposed to be 7 continents. Because it was that the African giant was twice as tall. So,
I'm going to that question then. Okay. Now I get it. We're talking about your brand persona. How I discovered you through a tweet.
Remind me of this tweet.
I'm going to, this tweet I'm talking about.
Is it the one where, I think it's Monetizing that was saying, yes, you sent it to me. Hold up. Yes, here we are. So, Twitter a funny place. So, I remember the day I was going back and forth with Chuka Obi. I didn't know who he was. And I said, if you knew anything about comms and marketing, you wouldn't be arguing with me. Now my guy messaged me for DMC, I don't up.
And then the replies were insane. He kept on saying, forgive me.
Yes.
So I had to go and check who is this Chuka Obi.
So I said, you had an argument with Chuka Obi on marketing. Forgive me. Oh yes. So
it's not my question. Do you believe that when you look calm, quiet, do you think it directly contradicts with your online persona? Because I know you would say now that your online persona is not.
I get you. Because I remember an ex of mine actually saying, I know you. When I read your tweets, I don't think it's the same you that I know and talk to. And I'm like, you didn't know me then. I think. So I honestly believe, this is what I think.
Yeah.
I think that because you don't, and maybe it's partly because I removed my AVI on Twitter, so you don't see my face when you read. They are reading it with a mask in front, and you can see that mask is actually cover of an album I did. So people are reading it from that POV. I didn't get the same issues when I had my face on it. People got it. So they read it in my voice, as it were. Now I'm reading it as some judgmental.
The average, let me don't say that, but like the average, who kind of person.
Yes, exactly. So basically, this part you won't know about. So sorry. So that's literally what it is like. So, but maybe I should do that. Maybe I should put my AV at the back so that people stop reading it from their own perspective, how they think and stuff. Okay. Maybe let me read it with his tone of face.
Yes.
So maybe that
would help.
Yeah.
Because I know you're coming from a place.
Sometimes I'm looking for the Bible and I don't like it. The Bible uses the word food a lot. I discovered. Yeah. So, and the Bible says, that's a good question. It depends.
It's not. It's a description.
So you see, and the Bible says, do not answer a fool in a fool's manner. Answer him in a way that he will know that he's a fool. And Nigerians like to fool certain things, and that's why you see people defending absolute abhorrent stuff. And I'm like, I can't be diplomatic with you when you're doing those things. Some people are very good diplomacy. Somebody will just write something. I love when they say, walk me through your thoughts. That one,
That's a HR kind of way to talk. Definitely.
Literally saying that's an email version of what the hell.
What the hell? Yes. How can you think this?
Yes. So yes, I think I need to be more HR.
Finishing that one. On one of your IG posts here, you said, in a world where you are always one honest opinion away from being cancelled.
Yes.
How do you continue to unapologetically become the person that God has called you to be? And be able to do it without having to completely shut out the very what you meant to reach. So your opinion now, especially for women in business, how do you think we can approach being unapologetic and honest without being stereotyped as the angry worker woman? Because in my opinion, I think that's rule of being unapologetically honest for a man is different. If I'm that way now, if I speak the way you speak,
you are an angry
black woman.
Yes. No, I don't know.
No, black woman.
Black for you is kind of.
Stop! I'm saying shit. Don't even try.
Yes, and I'm not an angry black man. See? Ooh, see.
That is sexist. What you just said was extremely sexist.
How?
That was just sexist.
Show me. Show me. Angry, yes. Black. Two things I just use for myself and yourself. Woman, you're not the woman again. Oh, am I transphobic for saying that?
You're setting me up. That's what you're doing. You're setting me up. It's setting me up. So it looks like I don't know what I'm saying. But then I know what I'm saying. I know it.
Stand on your business. Stand on business. Stand like J.K. Rowling. Stand on business.
Stand. Oh, just put it a woman.
Yes, my God, I love J.K. Rowling. See, J.K. Rowling, wherever you are, God bless you. Anyway, so to answer the question, the Bible says, "Let your words be seasoned with salt." That's the one part I'm trying to learn. See, you can't.
You just called yourself out.
Yes, that's the beauty. I am not hiding. I agree. So me, I'm still learning. I'm not the best cook. So I'm still learning to season it with salt, Let me not put too much salt,
You cook enough people. So what do you mean by you're not the best cook? You cook enough people online.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So now I'm cooking, I have to season my words with salt. So the cooking will not be right.
You don't use salt.
And now I need to use salt because the Bible says so.
Okay.
So I have to season my words with salt. So now for a woman, the world in many ways is very different. Challenges are different. In some places, especially when it comes to stuff that has to do with business and work, it's harder. And it's only a wicked person or a liar that will say it's not. Because a lot of people try to, sidestep reality. So for women, what I would suggest, because I cannot do anything but suggest, since I'm not a woman.
Yeah.
So I cannot say I live your reality, but I see your reality because I have women friends. I've seen things. I've dealt with things. I think one of the things I'm most proud of is the fact that women who I worked with, can say that I do not see them as women, because when I let them, they are women, and there are certain things that are realities that they are realities. In that, if a woman gets pregnant and wants to have kids, is a reality. You won't sidestep it. If a woman has issues, it's different from sometimes when a man has issues. So you deal with them from those separate realities, but you treat them equally. And that's just like having kids. Your kids are different. You don't treat them the exact same way, but you give them the exact same standards. So I'd say that the first bit is, first of all, understanding yourself. Women, like all people, are consistently evolving. They're not evolving, they're not really growing, right? So be aware, be self-aware. Self-awareness is such an important part of human success. And why I say this is, like I said now, I said let my word decision, so I know that I'm lacking there. I need to know that I'm lacking there. If not, I'm going to be arguing. I say, oh, you said that? No, I didn't say that. That's a problem. So you need to be aware to know, okay, these are my strengths, these are my weaknesses, these are what I need to work on. Once I have that clarity of where I am, I can look at everything around me objectively. So once I now know this is what I need to work on, so I need to get right, and I get it right, or I don't have to wait to get it right. Like, I'm dealing with the world, but based on my strengths. So in the business world, look at the people around you. Look at your immediate surrounding first, then the wider world view. Your immediate surrounding sometimes is stifling, so you have to work within the box. Find out the things in that box that can work. Find out the people that are more open to change, that are more open to listening, to growth, to ideas. Focus on those people. Focus on those things. The places that you are in that do not allow for those things, start looking for alternatives. Quick. One of the most beautiful things that's happened in the world today, and people accept it or not, is remote work. Remote work takes out quite a lot of the human communication problems that have bedeviled women's growth because of men that are saying, oh, you have to compromise in order to get ahead, all those things. You don't have that proximity that makes that thing as problematic when you're working remotely. So if you can find all those levers, start using them. Do not be afraid of change. It will happen anyway, whether you accept it or not. Change maybe in a career, change in your approach. If I'm in the same career, but just a separate part of that same career, always be open to these things. Then learn that it's unfair, but learn that you are consistently being assessed to the point of judgment by both what you do and what you say. It happens to men as well, but it's different for women, and sometimes it's crueler for women. So you need to understand that, and it doesn't mean you should work on eggshells. It means you need to create for yourself, and sometimes it could be you, sometimes it could be a facade, it could be a mask. It's needed in certain things. Because when you go to work as a doctor, as a person that provides some sort of customer service, whether it's in front of the front desk or whether it's on the phone, you're wearing a mask because you have your own problems, but you're not telling the customer, you're smiling at the customer, taking orders, or listening to the customer's problem. You're basically acting. It doesn't make you fake. No, it makes you professional.
Yes.
So know these things. So when you're in those places, put on that face. I put on that face too. I've had to put on that face in certain places. I've worn my heart on my sleeve as well, because as a person I'm very passionate, but I need to understand when and where what should fit in. So know when the passion is supposed to be here, know when the professionality should be what is in front. So once you do that, it teaches you certain things, it teaches you the kind of words to use, the kind of conversations to avoid, so that you are building for yourself your own personal structure and reputation that keeps you going wherever you go. So just build your own persona that fits where you're trying to go. Stick to it, grow it, tweak it where it needs to be tweaked, and keep building. You're going to get there eventually. I'm not where I wanted to be yet. But I'll get there and be able to.
By intentionally building your own persona, that means you're not reactive to wherever you are at that time. Because I know that being reactive will make you a certain way.
Yes.
And now make you even what you describe that being that oh, and
exactly.
And I know when you take up that road, it's hard to drop it.
Yes.
It's now evident in every part of your life.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So now you have a persona that everywhere you go, your persona is like a brand.
Yeah.
And the brand sticks wherever you go.
Yes.
And that brand becomes what you recommend people. Yeah. Because you recommend the brand to a person, same way you recommend the person as a brand.
So I've watched quite a number of your interviews.
Okay.
You've spoken about localization of African content.
Yeah.
You said something about reverse acting.
If we don't take time.
If you don't take time,
It will
that was fun.
Yeah.
Two separate. But let's move on. So you spoke about private sectors owning their vision.
Yes.
Yeah. So what about personalized vision? I have a vision now.
Yes.
How do I get it from having a vision to monetizing your creativity?
Okay.
The path that you followed is by God's grace.
Yes.
You've spoken a lot about God's grace, about how your Christianity, because I know you're a practical Christian, not just religion. I don't think religion is practicalizing Christianity.
Yes.
But then you've spoken about God's grace in your life and how that has paved your way.
Yeah.
Professionally speaking now, yeah. How do you monetize your creativity? And do you think that creativity can actually be learned? Most of the creatives I know, they are talented and then they professionally hone their skills.
Yes.
Do you think creativity can be taught? I make videos.
Yes.
People ask me how. I cannot
Explain it. You can't explain.
And I have so many other skills I can teach.
Yes.
But that is the one thing
I cannot. Yes. Yeah, that's the one. Yes.
How can you learn creativity? Can you learn what you did for twice as tall?
Yeah.
Can you teach that, and how do you monetize it?
Okay. So, first thing, what I said, I think the grace of God.
Yes.
Now, the grace of God will not substitute action and work, professionalism, and trust. How do we know this? Jesus had a job. He was a carpenter. He didn't go table B. And then right. Must have scuffed his fingers sometimes, getting stuff down.
Yeah.
He learned the trade from his dad. He learned the trade. He was a pro at what he was doing. So professionalism is a must. And being able to grow and own your skills consistently is a must, because what was a mad table 40 years ago, right? Was a mad table because of the quality of work. And that's why those tables they appreciate instead of them becoming less in value because it's a 40-year-old table. Because of how great the quality of the skill that whoever had made that table had gotten or attained. That table outlived him because he understood. But here's where the problem is. The problem is people think that creativity is content and entertainment. That is not creativity. That is an aspect. The guy who made the in quote table I just discussed is a creative. And he has honed his creative skills in what he's doing. The person who is making new inventions every day, person who made the iPhone is a creative. But because people think creativity is because we're in front of camera and we put this skit on and stuff, there is a problem. Because people take entertainment and content to mean creative. No, you must be creative in everything you do. So you are creative. The question is, what are you creative at? Even though it doesn't look creative to you, let's bring it out. Show me what are the things that you are naturally predisposed to be good at. Now let's look at those things. and then we start to move your perfection or excellence in those things. That's your creative power. Monetizing it is a straightforward thing. It's not a simple thing, it's a straightforward thing. Why? What is money? Money is a value given. Is it an exchange for value given?
Yes.
That's what money is. Simple. So money is not naira. Money can be a car. Money can be a house. Whatever is payment for value given. That's what money is. Once people understand that, what is the value given? So number one thing is for you to monetize anything, provide value. What is value? Value is what somebody has deemed fit to pay for. Now, if you want to find things that people deem fit to pay for, there are two levels. There is the human necessity level, and there is the human emotional satisfaction level. Those are the two, and there are tiers in between those places. But now, there is the commodity part of it. They need. You can't escape it. No, everybody needs to eat. Now, what you will eat, how much what you will eat will cost, all these are different discussions. But eat is a need. Eating here is a want in this place that we are right now. So now you've understood that there's a need. What am I doing? Or where am I in the value chain providing that need? On whatever level that need is being met at. Once you find where the need spaces are, it is not rocket science. The rocket science of it is the research. Is for you to sit down and say, okay, let me study this value chain. Let me study this situation. Let me study this problem and see the opportunity in these problems. That is where the work is. It's not, oh, I just want to come and collect money. Oh, it's not just what I'm good at what I want to do. No, it is that people are consistently looking for solutions for problems they have, problems they think they have, problems they don't know they had. And then wherever you are fitting and filling in those things, that's the job.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Like, I don't have any other thing to add or remove. Chuka Obi, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.